Mark in the studio here. Just going to help you out if you're struggling with wedges basically today. You can see there I was just hitting a wedge into the last hole at the Belfry, if you recognised it, 120 yards uphill. And what I wanted to show you was what the important parts of wedge play are that mean that you don't thin it, you don't top it, and you get a bit of nice penetrating and a bit of distance on your wedge. If you're the sort of person who struggles with wedges, have a look at this and hopefully this will help you out. Let's have a quick look at the biology of that shot, if you like, how it came to be. And you can see here, what I'm really going to highlight for you is this screen, where it highlights what the angle of attack on the ball was by my club head, 5.4 degrees downwards, and the launch angle at 27 degrees. Now bear in mind that was a 47 degree wedge that hit downwards and driven forwards. That's a very normal launch angle for a strong wedge shot, 27 degrees. That in turn resulted in a carry of 121 yards with plenty of backspin on it, and it stopped nicely. Okay, what are the common problems? Why do people not hit wedges well? The most important thing in your wedge play, which I'm going to highlight today, is the use of your wrists, okay, because they are really important in creating that downward angle of attack, the club head speed, and keeping the loft off the golf club. Here we can see that the shortest shaft in the bag creates the most wristy swing, if you like, in your golf game. And when we have a nice wristy wedge action, we get a nice steep angle of attack from this club head down to where the ball would be. Without any wrist hinge, we can see that into impact, the club is a lot lower to the ground. It's got a very shallow angle to travel to the ball. It's going to either catch the ground before the ball, or it's going to reach its low point before the ball and actually be on the rise and hit the ball upwards, which can result in the dreaded thin shot. Either way, you're going to have far too much loft on the club and you've lost a lot of power in the shot. So let's show you that, and I'll tell you, we'll have a look at the numbers and see how it comes out. Okay, so here's a wedge shot, same setup. Now with no wrist hinge, I'm going to hit it as well as I can with no wrist hinge and see how we get on. Okay, so it's pretty well struck. Middle of the green. And let's have a quick look at that one and see the differences. Okay, you can see that it travelled 99 yards instead of 121, so I've instantly lost 20 yards with the same golf club. And what we can see is these are the reasons. So the angle of attack has slipped from 6 degrees to 2. Okay, it did just slightly hit it on the way down, that one. And the launch angle has risen up to 29 degrees, so in effect I'm hitting a club weaker, and that's why the ball's gone 20 yards shorter. This club head speed can't be the same, so I've slipped from 79 or whatever it was, 80 miles an hour to 69. That's the fastest I could achieve. And as a result, I've hit a far weaker shot. Okay, so let's just have a little look at something you can do in practice to help you encourage that wrist hinge during your wedge play. But wrist hinge in itself is a very interesting source of power, and it's free to the golfer basically. It doesn't take any extra effort or having to go to the gym or any technique. When your wrists work well, they provide a lot of power. If you think about throwing a frisbee, for example, the very last thing that happens is your wrists uncock, yeah, and the frisbee goes off spinning like mad. Same with skimming a stone this way. It's your wrist which delivers the final bit of power. If you're hammering a nail in, for example, to a fence post and you didn't use your wrist and you used just your whole arm, you would be there all day trying to chip the nail in, whereas what you'd actually do is get your sighter here, you'd use your wrists and you'd develop far more force and get the nail in one go. It's the same with the golf swing. For some reason over time, I think people get worried, they're trying to minimise the error, and they don't like the feeling of moving parts in their golf swing, so they gradually slow down until they've got no wrist hinge in their swing at all. So, good drill for you at the range here. Take your normal setup. Now, I want you to cock your wrist, leave your hands where they are, and literally cock your wrist to the right as far as you can. They'll only go about 90 degrees. What you'll see now is the club shaft is still parallel to your target line, and the club leading edge is not vertical, it's very slightly pointing towards the floor. Okay? And from here, just want you to complete your normal backswing turn and hit the shot. When a hinge is put into a swing early, we tend to find the habit of those golfers is that the hinge stays in the swing for longer, therefore you'll get your nice low driving blow. If a wrist hinge goes into a swing late, which happens when we take the club away in one great big long line here, We tend to find those people cast the club, the wrist hinge comes out early, and now we're left with too much loft and a slightly upward blow on the ball. So here's what it looks like. I want you to set up to the golf ball as normal. Hinge your wrists to the right by leaving your hands still. Okay, fully set now. Turn and hit your normal shot. Okay, now you might not catch every ball cleanly, but it's a good drill, a good practice for you to get into delivering the club low and hard. And hopefully that'll help you wedge play. If you want to come and see your numbers or you want some help, just to see what your angle of attack is like and whether that's the reason for your poor wedge play, just give us a shout and come in the studio for half an hour. Okay, thanks.